In this video, I'm going to share some thoughts, some ideas that might help those of you who are looking to get into street photography. Recently, I posted this photograph on Facebook that I'd shot on the streets of Toronto a couple of weeks ago. I was very surprised at how many people contacted me, messaged me and said, "Oh, I wish I could do street photography. I wish I was brave enough to walk up to strangers in the street. I find it very intimidating." So all of these messages and comments got me thinking, why don't I make a video and share some thoughts and ideas to help those of you who are looking to get into street photography and be around people more and interact with them and photograph them. You'll have to excuse the background noise, it's very noisy here. I'm actually at Coldwater Museum in Ontario. There's a lot of people here, there's a lot of things happening today. I think a festival or an event like this is the best place to start your street photography journey. It gets you used to being around people and interacting with them, and we've got people here in period costume and demonstrating arts and crafts, so they almost expect you to photograph them. Everybody's got cameras and walking around, so walking around with even a big camera like this, you're not getting so much funny looks. I would suggest, if you can get to an event like this or a street festival or something, the place to start is with an 85mm lens, or even 135 if you wanted to, because you can shoot people from a distance, you don't need to interact with them, and it just gets you used to being around people and picking out somebody and shooting them. And the idea is you start with a longer focal length where you're more of a distant observer, and then you shorten your focal length until you find yourself at, I don't know, 20mm, and you're right immersed right in the action. So those steps really do help build confidence. So I'm going to start with this 85mm and run off a few shots, sort of typical shots that you can do with this focal length. I would suggest you start by shooting people that are unaware that you're shooting them. Maybe they're just a couple standing in some interesting light or against an interesting background. It doesn't really matter. It's all about getting used to quickly shooting people. The mistake that people make is when you see somebody, you want to shoot them, regardless of the focal length, you want to figure out before you lift the camera what it is you want to shoot or how you want to compose the shot, and you compose, shoot, and then carry on. You don't want to be standing around and pointing and that, because then you draw attention and that just doesn't look right. You've got to be stealthy, you've got to be quick. So once you've got used to shooting people from a bit of a distance, it's time to change down to a 50mm. A nifty 50 is the best all-round lens that you can be using for this type of thing, for walking around streets, events, whatever. Means you've got to get closer to people, not as close as a 35 or 28, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you can get close enough where you can do nice environmental portraits, close-up portraits, but you do need to interact with people usually at this point. So this is the big one that everybody's nervous about. My technique I found over the years is, if you're happy and positive and you project a positive nature, that rubs off on people, just like being miserable and negative and unsure and nervous rubs off on people. That's really important, your attitude when you approach a scene, a person. So what I always do is, like here for instance, people are doing arts and crafts. I'll talk to people first and comment on what they're doing or what they're wearing and how they look, or you show an interest in anybody, they will usually react very positively. In fact, I don't think I've ever had anybody turn me down. in any street event situation where I've actually spent some time talking to them and showing an interest in them and being very positive. So let's try that now. Let's move a little bit closer to people, and some shots we can still do candidly, but some shots I'm going to interact with people. Right, so you're just ignoring me completely, and that's quite a common thing. People just tend to ignore me anyway, so I'm used to it. This is good. You're doing a really good job of ignoring me. Oh, actually, yeah, look at the camera for me there. That's nice. Yeah, I like that.
It's easier to ignore you then. Yeah.
It is, yes.
You can do that.
My wife says the same thing.
You don't listen.
Yeah, she says that too. See, you just got to be a bit cheeky sometimes. Lay on the charm. They love it. So there's a few shots with the 50mm, which is not a focal length I normally use. I know I've talked about this so many times before, but my preference is a 35mm. Today I'm going to keep the 35mm shots to a minimum and actually jump to a 28mm, because I'm going to be shooting in some very dark spots, and I've got this little on-camera flash, and I want to do some fill-in flash and have a play. And I just love shooting portraits with 28mm, especially environmental portraits. Adam has kindly agreed to let me shoot some portraits of him looking at the camera, and I'm looking around here. Thing is, when you're in this sort of situation, you don't want to disturb people for too long. You've got to be quick, so I've got to make a quick decision. And I'm figuring it's very bright sunny day, it's early afternoon, and it's very dark in there. So I'm thinking, if I get him to come to the front of the door there, I'm going to use the natural light from the sun behind me when I shoot him. That's going to be flat light though. So the other thing that I can do, and I will do, is I'm going to ask him to stand over by the window at the back. It's very dark in there, but there's a little window, and there should be enough side light that I can position him to get some really nice lighting that's going to sculpt his face. So we're going to go for flat lighting and sculpted lighting, both using natural light. It's all about where you position your subject. Fantastic. I'm going to get even closer still. Sorry about that.
No worries, man.
It's just drop your chin a little bit, looking at that lens. Fantastic. Nice. And if we can do one over here, let's see if we can bring the video camera too.
All right.
What we want to do is position you so we've got some really nice light on you.
Same kind of straight face, I guess.
Yeah, just looking really serious.
Yep. I'm good at that anyway.
Can you put your
like up here?
Like that? There we go.
Yeah,
resting
okay.
it like that. It's
there
better.
We go, yeah.
Now you look like you're really confident and looking serious. Oh, that's fantastic. That was absolutely the best shot of the day. That one.
Well, there you go. Man.
The second I saw through the viewfinder, the composition of Adam standing by the window, I knew it was going to be a good shot before I even took the photo. So let's have a look at it. I hope I'm right. I hope it was a good shot. So the thing with shooting black and white, you've obviously figured out I'm a black and white guy, is, well, with which one? This one. This is a monochrome camera, so obviously the EVF is in black and white. Yeah, I can see exactly what I'm going to get. With other cameras, color sensors, mirrorless DSLRs, you can actually set your EVF to black and white or a color profile in the camera, and that allows you to see exactly what you're going to get. It's a really good thing to do, actually. I do it with all my Nikons. The photo is still being shot in color, it's just that you're viewing it in black and white, so very, very useful. With this rangefinder, of course, it's optical viewfinder, so I'm seeing it in color and there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to use my imagination. Rangefinders aren't as good as people make them out to be. It's true. And we're going to try a little bit of fill-in flash because that lighting is so awful.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alas, my time here has run out. So, to recap, if you want to ease yourself into street photography and get used to being around people and photographing them, start with a longer lens like an 85mm and work your way down to a 50, and then you can go into 35, 28 or even wider. And the wider the focal length, the more you immerse yourself and closer you get to people. But the important thing is just be friendly and show an interest and talk to people. And it might be good practice to not even intend to take any photographs. Just go to people on a street, particularly vendors and craftspeople at fairs and shows like this. Just chat to them, and you just got to get used to talking to people, really. And yeah, I mean, everybody here that I spoke to and I asked, can I take a picture? Nobody said no. They never do. So until next time, thanks for watching.